Hey everyone, it's Matt with Downrange Warbirds. Another big update. I know I just posted a video a few days ago. Next update's already coming. I was just slow in editing that one. So here is what we are on today. Wing spar. Don't know if you've noticed, but our ends are nice and clean and square. Got those on a decent quality saw. Chopped it to length. So our wing spar, at least the modifications to this unit, are pretty much done. Same with our rear center wing spar. So the only thing I've got left to do on this unit, both of these need to get skinned with 3/32 plywood. So that's next on the agenda for these two units. We'll talk about that a little bit here in just a second. And then I just need to varnish the interior of these to make sure that they're going to be waterproof or at least water resistant, prevent moisture, mold, all that good jazz. We don't want any rot, especially in the key components here where possible. Same thing with this unit. No varnish on this one's going to be required. This one just needs solid couple of plies of 3/32 skinning, and that will be done as well. Pretty straightforward. The other stuff, I wish I had video of it. I was using my very good friend Dave Hayes. He owns Hayes Fine Cabinetry down in Lee, Stewart. He does amazing work, but he has a full and complete wood shop, so I utilized some of his resources on this project. So he was able to help with a lot of this. He has a much better chop saw than I do, so we use that to cut those down square. Now our spars are pretty much done. They just need to get wrapped and get ready to get installing in the fuselage. Now,
what we have here is the horizontal stabilizer spars as well as the elevator spar. The elevator spar is a hair longer. You'll see that here where it sits at the end of the table. And here is my very good friend Dave actually cutting it on his panel saw, which makes things so much easier for cutting these harsh angles. You can see those angles there. Right there is the center section that is the full thickness, and then from that point all the way to the end, they all get brought down to about 1.5 inches. You're also able to see all the laminations in the actual spars where they came together instead of using a single solid piece of lumber.
next on top of that is our rudder post. If I can get in the shot here with this. So we got the rudder post cut. A little different from those. This only has 2 bevels cut up from the top because, as you can see, the rear is just flush. That's what's actually going to mount into the rear of the fuselage. Easy peasy. The one complication to this, because it thins out to the tip here for the vertical stabilizer. The one complication is tough to see. Reduced in size from 3/4 to 1/2 inch. That was a little more complicated. That got hogged off with a saw that Dave had, and then we just threw it on a post sander and then cleaned it up, made it nice and straight, and made sure that it was as straight as we can get it, and it turned out pretty good. So that's our rudder post for our vertical stabilizer assembly.
This is the rudder spar. You can see the laminations and the cutout right there, which is actually going to be in place for the elevator hardware. So that's that assembly one prior to it getting glued together and screwed together.
Last thing I want to talk about from this video is the scarf joints. 1/16 inch plywood. This is what gets used to skin the main fuselage of the plane. Basically, the way we did this, we clamped 2 pieces of plywood that were about 5 inches tall. They were taller than the fence on the panel saw. Clamped them here, 1 on each side, and pushed it flush against the fence and zipped it straight through. As long as we replaced the side that was against the blade, it kept a very nice straight cut. As you can see, I think you can see, that line where that scarf is perfectly straight. You can see that there's no waves, and you can see you're on the bottom, not on the top. So that's what got done with all of that. That is what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, basically. Now that that's all done and squared away, now it's going to be making continuous sheets with the plywood. So I will glue all the scarves to all of the sheeting material for the fuselage, scarf to scarf. Get all that mounted together. Once that's done, then fuse it to the fuselage. Once that's done, it'll get cut out. I'm just going to use my hand router because it'll cut through this like it's not even there. It'll be hot butter. So we're just going to mount this directly to the fuselage. Once it's done as one long strip, take the hand router and then just using the guard, just zip it out nice in, using the proper bit so it's got that offset. We'll cut that all out so it is completely flush with the fuselage, get that all skinned up, and then we're ready for the next big step. So next thing you're going to see is these getting bonded together, how I decided to do that, and then skinning these spars and then skinning the fuselage. So thanks everybody for watching, and stay tuned for what's coming next.